For many years we were kept without any need for speed. Someone, even thanks to this, gave up on games and became a normal person. But still the 22nd year came, and in the end of it a brand new part of semi-cel shading part of this series called Unbound appeared before our eyes. What it turned out to be and whether it was buying the 5th PlayStation for it, we'll find out immediately. During the introductory logos, firstly you can get epilepsy, and secondly you can notice the original logo on electronics from the 90s flashback buy. This is cool reference which only such old grandfather like me will understand. Again, just like in the Hit, we were given the opportunity to choose our character and customize it to our liking. And also for his money to buy him all kinds of clothes, because in a racing game where we almost never see him, this is very important thing. Also, no matter what character I choose here, in the course of my career, it can always be replaced with another, because the 22nd year and the change of sex and race is now a matter of 2 minutes. And whoever I choose, white or black, his voice will be the same. I did not notice even a hint of an accent. And immediately at the beginning of the first cutscene, we are shown a brand new feature of cel shading effects on photorealistic machine. And they look in principle not so bad. This of course is a matter of taste and someone will not like it much, but personally after a couple of hours of the game I even stopped paying attention to the fact that some effects are not the same. What cannot be said about the characters. When I launched this game I was expecting something in style of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, only with normal non-jerky animation, but in the end I got children against fucking wizards. Bitch, even Telltale Beggar's drew characters with the asses better than it turned out here. Well, everything else that is not cel-shaded looks very nice, especially when it's night, rain and puddles and strangely beautiful. On the way we came across a passing race that we got into it and enter, because why shouldn't a random dude who didn't pay for her participation join an already ongoing race which won't embrace any of them in the list. By the way, yes, now you have to pay money to participate in races, and depending on the place where you finish this race, yes, now it's absolutely not necessary to always come first. It can easily turn out that you will find yourself in a red, and now it is not easy to win as before. Finally, in Need for Speed, even on medium difficulty, opponents began to prevent at least some kind of challenge, unlike the same payback that I went through on hard without starting all. And a limited restart was also added to the treasury of hardcoreness, which is very few, which should be always used wisely. I don't quite agree with the latter, but still, basically such a hardcore update was to my liking. What cannot be said about the police? The fact that they are evil and annoying is not bad, if it were not for this fucking health bar, thanks to which I learned to stealth in a car in a hit. Immediately stealth, and it became more difficult to throw the pursuers into water, and sometimes in general they seem to fly into water, but then flock back to land with me. And therefore, having earned a lot of money for the session, I'm ready to lose them all, because I just didn't have time to get the nearest gas station, which are also hidden in the big map, and just by opening it you will not see them, and therefore at first not finding where they are, I look for them stupidly blindly. And in most cases when I saw a patrolman on the road, I pretended to be a jerk and immediately turned out to the side that, God forbid, he wouldn't not see me, or drove very slowly after him in case I have nowhere to turn. And sometimes they can even see you from behind when you drive slowly and do not crash into anything, or where you hide somewhere in a secluded place where they couldn't see you. Because who better than Dark Souls to take an example in creating Need for Speed, right? Yes, and even Dark Souls spared me and gave the opportunity to return the missing loot, and then shit like that. And I already joked about gas stations in other vids, so go fuck yourself. And of course, as it already customary to Need for Speed, no matter what supercar you drive, no matter how nitro you fuck at maximum speed, the police will always be able to catch up and overtake you. Also, while the level of pursuit at 0, no matter what tricks do you do in front of the nose of the policeman, he will not even think about paying attention to you. He would say on the radio that some kind of hooligan is a hooligan here and will go on at donuts. Towards the end I also learned the new trick how to quickly get rid of the pursuit, namely while driving down in the road and you can see car in front which can bar you, just fuck into it at full speed, and no matter how powerful this car is, it will instantly die from this and it will receive any damage. Despite the fact that from car exactly the same blow, the civilian's car, the damage does not come to me small. And why do the rams that endure my car a couple of blows die instantly from a collision with a civilian? What the hell are civilian cars made of it? But the most fucked up cops happened on Friday. If by Friday you don't have enough money to contribute the final of the week, and on Friday you will tie it up and won't earn anything, then replay all this day and night by new one and pray that this time you will be able to calmly bring the earned money to to the shelter.
I have some good news and some bad news. Some good news and some bad news.
Stevenson should set her attack dogs on some real criminals.
Are you supposedly not real criminals? Not a single passing car was crashed into all, killing those who were sitting into death. Of course, I understand that in America it is now customary to cocksuck the police, and there is a reason, but this is already a little too much.
I love me to smell the gasoline.
Сегодня сотрудники наркоконтроля сомневаются, что дезоморфинщик доживет до нового суда.
What? She's street legal?
Right, and I'm LeBron.
Because if you're black, you should definitely compare yourself to LeBron at least once.
Ha, and I'm LeBron.
Because Jordan is no longer relevant.
Look, I'm not gonna tell you not to race. I know what it's like to feel that need for, the need for...
The Top Gun references are cool. Despite the fact that even the parents of the target audience were born after this film, it is still cool reference.
I feel the need for speed.
You can take part in some races without making an initial participation fee. And if this system with payment in the game didn't exist, I wouldn't have fucked with the moment, but since it exists and you have to pay for some races, why are we allowed to go to other for free, and most importantly, where does the money for the reward come from in the case of victory? Tuning in the game has become even more diverse. In addition to the usual body kits as the previous parts, here you can still customize the smoke from the under the wheels, and all the animation sounds. In short, you can infuse the car directly for every taste. Well, if you are lazy pig, then there are ready-made bodies for you and ready-made coloring pages in the community section, so tuning, it seems to me, will appeal to anyone.
You know he got up to worse back in the day.
Not right, Del. He does everything by the book.
It's all about family, kid.
Because it would not be a full-fledged racing game if at least one day wouldn't not mention the family.
You know we can't enter every event, right?
Why are you saying that now if I have enough money to run this race? In addition to the usual races, from time to time we will be given task to take some kind of racer to the shelter or steal some kind of car. This diversifies the gameplay a little and give you extra money or shelter, which is quite useful, because in the first half of the game you are literally a fucking bum who doesn't have enough of anything at all. And what's even cooler is that these racers whom we select actually meet us in the races. But it is not cool that these racers don't pay me anything because I worked for them as a taxi driver. They gave me opportunity to hang out in the hideout and that's it, no money. Why is the main character doing this? I just realized that the main character does not have a name, because to come up with a name that fit a female and a male and for any other gender, it was too hard. 2022 level fence breaking animation. Animation of running into puddles of 2022nd year. But even though the animation is breaking fences is clumsy, it is good that it exists at all, and that is unlike Payback, here you can travel wherever your heart desires. Except when the fences is indestructible, but overly looking exactly as well that's destroyed, as a result of which you are bound to dig into it and break it. Or trees that do not differ from each other at all, but in half of the cases they can be broken and in the half they cannot. It is especially infuriating when you drive off-road at high speed through the trees and then brake, nothing pretends trouble at all, you crashed against the tree which from some shit didn't want to brake. I just complete a race on a racetrack that is supposed to be for racing, but after completing this race my chasing level still increased. Our friend took us to steal a car which is naturally not closed. Judging by how many cars left the garage, she has a decent company there, and it's unlikely that one dude and what old man could not stop something with them. Oh, and yes, she did it because Rydell didn't treat her with the respect she deserved. Standing in front of the moving car to stop it, it is not the smartest decision. This African American looks so natural behind this barzoi, I accidentally. Yes, by the way, this woman decided after her guy stole our cars from us to come to us so that we would not have a single doubt that she was involved in all of this. 2 years have passed since we robbed and the main character scored in the race and turned into the Uber driver. And when I drove another client to the place, I found a familiar car.
That's my car.
This is definitely your car. It looked exactly the same when you last saw it. Are you too lazy to change the model or what? Also, for some reason, I don't know why the cutscenes sound much quieter than the main game, and therefore during each switch I reach for the remote control to raise or lower the volume.
police?
Whoop whoop! Oh, I accidentally. 2 years have passed since the woman you brought into your garage betrayed you, and now you again brought a random woman into your garage. What can go wrong? By this flat S, you can instantly determine what year this game is. And to be more precise, not only on this one, but on all the other S's too. Because the sexualization of women is bad, but the sexualization of machines is good for some reason. And all because the cars cannot complain about their infinite rights. Not fair, it seems to me.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Hey, Big Smoke! It's me, Carl! Chill!
In the end, we decided to go to the competition, as a result of which we will win the car what was stolen from us. Doesn't it remind you of anything? And so I bought a new car on which I will start racing, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of cars to choose from, which is pretty cool, since they usually give you a choice of 1 or 3 or no more.
Hey, if you're cruising around the lake, could you pick up a car for me? A Buick Grand National. They wanted to see how fast they can go with a real driver behind the wheel.
Given that they parked their car open in the middle parking, it's strange that so far no real driver with thieving tendencies had yet to show how she can crew. And how will they even see how I drive if there is now sitting in the car with me? And why don't they pay any attention to how I end up crashing the car without even lowering the payment? In order to put coolest body kits on the car, we need to improve our garage. I have no idea what the garage upgraded has to do with having cooler parts, but it does. I've only been playing for a couple of hours, but I already noticed repetitive races that will be repeated all the time. From the very beginning to the very end, we will have to drive on the same tracks, some of which will be the end of the game are already a little sick. Another thing that pissed me off was that they switching always after the garage. I made some money and I want to upgrade this car so I can do more races, not in the less places, but I don't have such an opportunity. If you went to the open world, you are locked behind those machines and their characteristics that are now with you, and you cannot change anything in this.
So what's the deal tonight?
No cops. Only racers.
I don't know what night she's talking about, but next night there will as many cops as I make in the morning. And even though there will be no cops inside, some kind of takeover after passing it, the level of my wanted list, it all will increase equally. Also, it is not clear why the hell. But what's cool about the takeover mod is that it's being driven by ASAP Rocky. It is cool. And what's not cool about this mod is that the cutscene before and after this race will be the same every time, as if opening a sub mouse is too expensive and they decided to do something like this to save money. And even closer to the end of the game, this ASAP will start racing, and you can even win his car. It is cool. But it is not cool that his old Mercedes, which should be somewhere in class A, quietly competes with class S plus cars. And since we started talking about ASAP Rocky, it wouldn't hurt to say a few words about the music, which this time in some century finally is not forgettable garbage like in several previous games, and moreover is pretty cool, so much that I pulled absolutely all of it to the playlist. Of course someone might not like it, but someone didn't like Lil Jon, so you can't please everyone. And this music, in addition to hitting in my G point, also and organically fits to the overall style of the game. And also in this mode, as in any other race, at the beginning based on our pumping level, we are shown the estimated place where I will pass it, because it is very smart to assume how I will pass the race only according to the level of my car, as if they don't know that it doesn't matter what the car has under the hood, the most important thing is O. But it is also pointless in this mode, since it doesn't matter what speed you have, the most important thing here is to bring down the maximum number of items and tweak a little bit what can be done with any car setup and easily defeat those who have a car pumped better.
Saw this anime when I was a kid, really stuck with me.
Oh yeah, like a cartoon.
Cartoon? Anime is not a cartoon.
A cartoon is a set of pictures then well played sequentially create the illusion of movement. I am afraid to disappoint you, but anime is just the same as a cartoon. Every morning after the night, the level of our pursuit dropped to 0 and the same policeman who dropped yesterday trying to catch me, and today will calmly pass by exactly the same car, not remembering at all none of which I yesterday do it. Well, after the arrest of the dude catching whom, judging by the statement, was the meaning of their life, they simply take away the money that was with him, leave the car and let him out without even holding a gate for 1 day. And with each arrest they will do the same thing, as if the life does not teach them anything. This thing, with the help of which I can lay a route to the race by pressing one button, on the one hand it seems too convenient, and on the other hand he laid the route how much I notice only before the race, of the same class of my car, even if I have cars of other classes in the garage. And that is, I still have to choose the direction manually on the map, which is no longer very convenient. But I could just do something that I not noticed to say garbage anything can happen. Well,
Knucklehead is in a Mitsubishi.
oh, wow. The police finally learned to pronounce the name of the car. Not complete, of course, and without color, but still already progress compared to what was before. And that's not all, because these cops also make funny comments about my driving style when I crash into something, or vice versa quickly run away from them.
Yeah, well, just be careful. Don't want to see you busted carrying a lot of cash.
I hear you.
They can rake me in which the money that is located in the red column, and the green money is a shelter, which is logical. But at the same time, with the money that I have in the shelter, I somehow can pay for participation in the race. If they are available to me at the time, then why don't the police see them?
I got a McLaren P1 that needs collecting and dropping off. You game?
What, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't want to drive one of those?
It seems that according to you, you are extremely happy to do this opportunity, but your acting said that you should not give a fuck. Also, he always talk like it. Whatever happens in the game, the main character in terms of emotions will completely give the shit about it. Pedestrians of the street are another nice innovation, and even though I want to nitpick to the point that no matter what you do you can't crush them, but it's still clear why there is no such possibility in the game with licensed cars. But still, I'll put a scene because it's funny. I finally came to the first competition on Saturday, and it turns out that the girly preview changed cars and I won't be able to win mine, which made me think, and why doesn't he steal this car from her in the same way as she stole mine? Well, in general, she could not put the car where we need in the future. He took some kind of muscle car, followed her to the secluded place, fucked into her, threw her out of the car, and that's it, it's yours. Did I choose a black character on Wayne or not? And the competition itself suddenly turned out to be simpler than ordinary races. Also, it should seem to be other way around. The big race is divided into 3 parts, in the first 2 of which you do not even need to come first. And restart does not restart the entire competition from the very beginning, but only that part of the race that you were in. Somehow you messed up the balance. Why tape a headlights?
Tess, stop filming.
You kidding me? 2 long-lost friends turned rivals throwing it down in the underground over some daddy drama, a stolen car. Next thing you know, this guy takes off his shirt. It goes to blow. Someone auto-tunes this shit and bam! We're on the Breakfast Club.
I'm confused about what audience you are targeting, because the audience you seem to be targeting has no idea what a Breakfast Club is.
Ain't no prizes for last place, speed.
Said the woman inside the game that some racers have rewards for last place. I don't know if it's a graphic problem or they did it for fun, but the arrows indicated where to turn on me always appear when I drive close to the checkpoint, due to which such oddities will sometimes occur. Invisible walls suddenly appearing in front of your face on the way, that's what I fucking love. Sometimes there are moments where the helicopter bitch just gets stuck in one place, blocking the only exit to freedom, making it impossible to proceed further without another long chase. Here's another little AI demo of a police officer in a helicopter. As soon as I drive under some kind of shed, he will instantly lose sight of me and say on the radio that I am lost and he has no idea where I can be. Fucker. Whatever the accident with the car, the main character will interrupt the dialogue and not to think, because why not include in parallel while doing a fire assault on the car?
Rydell, you won't. Got this.
No matter how long I stand here waiting for the police to pass and the road is clear for the passage, the police will still spawn. And they spawn really endlessly, believe me, I stood here long enough to do a convinced on this. During the race you definitely need to hit this checkpoint with your car, otherwise the game will say that you are going the wrong way and instantly get warned of the road, during which everyone will have time to overtake you. What the hell does it matter how I'm driving down the road if I'm going the right direction anyway? It's not even possible to go wrong way, this is a direct road. From time to time poltergeists take over the machine.
I know you got what it takes to win this whole thing, but what's the harm in throwing down on some other racers? If you win, we make money. If you lose, we still make money, huh?
And for some reason the main character didn't like it, and for some reason he was offended at the test for the fact that she earned money to him without interfering with him, or to be more precise, financially helping him to participate in the races. By the way, yes, the plot here occurs only in Saturday finals. The rest of the time it is paused and we just goof off. Not that it was bad for the race, but Ghost Games did it better, so that is.
Maybe it's time for Lakeshore PD to take a look at the corrupt criminals running these streets, not the ones driving fast home.
Is there a difference? That those that inflict the same damage on the cities, some by damage to civilian transport and all kinds of objects on the streets, and other by some other methods, I have no idea what. It seems to me that it is necessary to fight both with the first and the others equally.
Have my boy Kevin in here today.
Blonde hair Kevin?
Box head Kevin.
He got the one mean looking eye?
No, that's mean mugging Kevin.
You know a lot of Kevins.
It just me, or did they screw up those cyberpunk wings? Anyway, I'll remove a scene for this because it's wings.
Sure, some street racers have side hustles that are bad for the city, but most of us do it because this is an art.
Yes, you are already fucking trying to justify these illegal races of yours, which is possible methods. No matter how art it may be, it still be illegal racing that poses a threat to everyone who in the streets. No matter how you justify them, that enough already. You are still toying with this garbage, fuck you.
Hey, I got another job for you. Range Rover Sport, time to off-road, kid.
Range Rover is an off-road vehicle, I understand, of course, but in this game, as it were, any car is suitable for off-road, so this phrase would fit all the tasks of stealing or delivering car that I came across here.
The cost of living is sky high, and the mayor's splashing cash on traffic cops.
So don't break the fucking laws on cars of the government has not need to spend money to capture you. What the fuck is hard on this? In tuning, as usual, we can choose parts of road for drifting for an ordinary road, but unlike some kind of payback, here the cars are divided into other classes. And on the car that I pumped for drifting, it happens to go through regular sprints, in which the car will be worn on the sides like crazy, and therefore even fucked up the racers to earn batch of cars and different types of races, or put a slot in the middle and it will be fucked up. We don't understand what it's like to go around on the other side. And the next final, the flat S suggested, so that we both would earn a lot of money, which we didn't like in the end, and we instantly forgot our grievances with her and became friends again. Just think, she robbed our garage, leaving us with nothing. It is not important anymore. As she explained, it was not her fault, but in the end she left with them and also stole our car, even though she could have left it. Oh, and Rydell accidentally overheard all this dialogue, thanks to which he changed his mind about her. His suspension is fucked. What is suspension? Where his skull have to move somewhere in the area of his ass, and the wheels would become an ornament of the roof. But the fact that this suspension is fucked, they're 100% sure. If anyone did not know, this is how the high-resolution picture looked like in close. And now, in order to take revenge on that flat S and the head of Yas, we return back all those cars that we brought for them. And that is, we do the same in the second round. And we return absolutely all the cars that we had to steal before, even though left of which I missed. They still automatically caught up behind the scenes. And why can't we just steal our cars for Yas has told us, I did not understand. During the delivery of cars, we do not have the opportunity to put markers on the map. That is, if you need to go to the gas station, then determined by eye where you should go and constantly check with the map. Fucking old school.
Can't believe I had to pick that one up again. Guess I wasn't doing PR for a movie.
Oh, it was for a movie, just not PR. Production's been halted since it disappeared.
Oh, snap.
Of course, I understand everything, the budget is not rubber and all, but why instead of stopping production just get another one of the same car, which in general, in theory, they should instantly have in case something happens to the first one. The budget will increase a little, yes, but then you will not flush all the money spent on filming down the toilet.
Just got a weird call.
Not a good start.
From someone calling themselves the Blacklist.
We all know what this will be a reference to one again, and what car we will write again, because no matter how much the developers milk the poor BMW, it will never be enough for them.
Some guy just got released from from jail, and the first thing he wanted was this car.
And why on earth does the Razor call himself a Blacklist or not put Razor, or I don't know, by his name? And why on earth did this BMW end up in the city? And how convenient that they both ended up in the same city, same place, so Razor can pick up this car and not have it delivered from another city.
Just delivered the Aston. That's the last one, right?
Yeah.
It's so last, it is not the last one, and we still have to deliver other cars.
Got another call from our not so anonymous caller.
By the way, again, just like in the Heat, I would like to ask the game what happening with the weather there, if someone wears the warm jacket and someone wears the light t-shirts. During the last race, Yas will constantly call us and we will cocksuck each other, which, according to them, does not look like friendly teasing, but more like they are still enemies.
You really think you're gonna win, don't you?
Oh, I don't think, Yaz.
You're right. You don't think.
What gives the impression that they wrote the story backwards. And so we won the car, returning to the family because we are racers, and also subscribe to the channel so as not to miss a video on other games, liked, reposted and inseminated this video.